Well, this is going to be, Charlie, I don't know if you know this, but women in America still don't have equal rights. And we've been trying to pass this constitutional amendment for 100 years now to finally give women equal rights in America. And this was, of course, held back once again by the bigoted, misogynistic Republicans in the Senate that did not want to. This is an actual amendment that they're trying to get ratified to the Constitution.
Yeah.
And what happened was there is a deadline to how many years it can take from the time that you pass it, that the states start ratifying it, to when, like, they have 7 years, I believe, to ratify it for it to become a part of the Constitution. And the 30-whateverth state to ratify it was outside of the deadline. And so it's never been added to the Constitution. And this is why women are treated like dogs in American society today, with no equal rights whatsoever.
None.
There's a thing happening right now.
So number 5 is the Equal Rights Act. All right.
There's like 7 things with this. So.
Chief Warren, quote, women shall have equal rights to the U.S. and every place subject
in the U.S.
In the U.S. and every place subject to its jurisdiction. Equality of rights under the law shall not be denied or abridged by the U.S. or by any state on account of sex. We don't even know what any of that means.
No.
First of all.
They're using a bunch of terms in there that clearly no one can even define in the first place.
What is a woman and what is sex?
I don't know.
Because those seem to be arbitrary to me. So what shouldn't it just be people?
Just people.
People should have equal rights. Yeah.
Well, if you do that, then that's already in the Constitution.
Right.
It's called the 14th Amendment.
Senate Republicans just voted to block that from going in the Constitution. That's because, obviously, you have a bunch of misogynistic, woman-hating, slapping their wives around, which there probably are some that do that.
Sure.
But it's like if you're a Republican, you're just a cancer.
Yeah.
And all you do is you hate on trans people, you hate poor people, you hate women, That's it.
Rokana
tweets, it's 2023 and we're still fighting for women to have equal rights. It's ridiculous. Congress passed it in 1972. 38 states have ratified it. We need to add the Equal Rights Amendment to the Constitution.
For what? I'm still trying to figure this out. For what?
What do women... Can anybody name one thing that men have and women do not have?
Well, they can't... I mean, that's too vague. You're talking about a right.
A right to, yeah.
Okay.
What do they not have the right to do that men have the right to do?
I really don't know.
Like they can get a job. They can vote. They can buy a home.
Yeah.
Or land.
Now they're trying...
They can open up a business. They could pee standing up if they wanted to. It should probably would be harder, than men. If we're talking about the traditional man, woman, based on account of sex, like Chief Warren says. All right, Dick Durbin, this is an idiot from Illinois. He tweets, it's a shame that Republicans block the Equal Rights Amendment from becoming law today. They can twist it however they wish, but it's a fact. There you go. Stop listening after that. There's no sense in listening.
What's funny is what he's about to say is kind of correct. So
Republicans voted against explicitly including women's equality in our Constitution.
They did because it's already included for everyone. You don't have to explicitly name women. No. So yeah, they voted against explicitly putting women in the Constitution.
Because it's already there.
They did. It's already for all the people. It doesn't matter.
You know the saying, by the way. All men and women go by go, you know the thing.
Okay, well, this has escalated. What's going on in our Tennessee house is moving all the way up to...
we have more people from Tennessee that...
No, this isn't in Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
This is actually people in the U.S. Congress interrupting the Senate while they were trying to vote on this. The House of Representatives, Congress women and men, or whatever you call them these days, interrupting the vote in the Senate while they were in session and then getting kicked out afterwards. So this is Congresswoman Summer Lee.
They were storming the Senate?
They stormed it. Now, I don't know how many fire extinguishers or flagpoles they had, but this seems violent to me.
Hey y'all, I'm outside of the Senate chamber where we marched from our House chamber over here as the Senate takes their vote on the ERA. We knew when we were going in there that they have senators who are always, we're not even there. I'm getting kicked out, I'm not even in the area. We have a lot of rules around here. But listen, we're getting expelled out of here. We just left where they don't have enough votes to pass the ERA. But we wanted to make sure that we were going over there as the House to to let people hear our voice about women's rights and making sure that our rights are enshrined in the Constitution. So I got to go back. Picking up where we left off, as I was explaining, we were in the Senate chamber where, they vote, by thumbs up or thumbs down. Y'all might have saw this before. And just to see women voting, doing thumbs down as they walked in, a lot of the Republicans understood how shameful it was, right? They weren't even in there. They would come in out of their cloakroom, put their thumbs down, and run out of there. So they understand how ridiculous it is. They understand that they're on the wrong side of history, but they also understand that we're not going to stop, that we're going to keep going until we ensure that there are equal rights for women, for queer and trans folks, and for all of our marginalized communities. Now,
wait. Hang on a second. So there were women senators,
yes,
that voted against this thing. They voted against their own
gender. Well, that's what Republicanism does. It makes you hate yourself as a woman. That's what happens. This is Ayanna Pressley talking.
I'm sorry, I don't think it's getting better, folks.
Oh no, it's not. The question is,
this
Charlie,
is getting worse.
What the heck are we talking about? Like, until we get equal rights for. What are you talking about?
Right.
Someone say what you're talking about.
Why don't we talk about actual issues?
And she says, we're out here marching. These are a bunch of people who grew up watching videos of people in the civil rights movement doing great things, and they have aspired to be those people. And so they are creating fake problems to go out there and march on behalf of, so they can be these civil rights leaders. And the people who got kicked out today, they saw how famous the Justins got from Tennessee. And they just want to do that. They want to up their public persona. They're trying to go out there and get expelled. They want someone to vote and expel them. That's it, because it only works out in your favor afterwards. Maybe you can run for even higher office afterwards. That's exactly what they want.
It's been over 100 years now. Some might think that's a testament to our resilience. I think it's a pathetic commentary. At a time when we face daily sexism, pregnancy discrimination, pay inequities, sexual violence, and persistent legislation.
Pregnancy discrimination? What does she mean, that men are allowed to have abortions and women aren't? What is she talking about?
Yeah.
This is the, part of the Roe versus Wade. They tried to use the 14th Amendment with this. And you can't do equal protections on this because men aren't allowed to get abortions either. So you can't say, well, you let men have abortions and you don't let women have abortions. That's not the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, men use contraception or whatever, and women haven't been denied those type, the birth control pill. I think people try that in some states because some crazies out there. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's ridiculous. But all right, sorry.
Attacks on our bodily autonomy. Our bill is essential. But once again, the Jim Crow era rules of the United States Senate are obstructing justice and LGBTQ folks and other marginalized communities. Today, the obstruction of the ERA by some callous Senate Republicans is only the latest example of their damning failure to do the bare minimum.
The LGBTQ folks in this? Because it's women.
Charlie, this will be used to enforce trans women being able to play on whatever sports teams that they want to play. That is one of the reasons that they're trying to push this right now, because trans women will be included in this equal rights.
It says on their account for sex. So how do they put that?
I'm not a biologist. I don't know what you want me to say right now. All right.
To protect our fundamental rights at defining moments in our nation's history. The Senate's failure to pass our bill means that constitutional inequality and the daily indignities and disparities that come with it will remain the status quo for now. We ain't gonna let nobody turn us around.
Tell them, Queen.
Despite this devastating setback, we remain resolved and determined as Shirley Chisholm, the first black woman elected to Congress and a key.
Okay, I don't care about the rest or anything else that she said, but because I'm a man and I don't have to because it's in the Constitution. So they're just some of the equal rights. The 14th Amendment. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of the citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws.
Now, is a woman a person?
Pretty sure, unless they identify otherwise.
Yeah.
You know, so, as long as you identify as a person, you're pretty much covered under the 14th Amendment.
It's already there.
Yeah.